Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
A shocking shooting at a busy bus stop in East Point caught on video. We'll show it to you and tell you exactly what happened.
Rain is circling us right now and ready to pounce. Find out how much of the weekend is going to be a washout.
Police in Northwest Detroit are investigating after a 64-year-old woman was killed. Her stepson in police custody. You'll hear how family members describe the victim.
And we will continue to follow the breaking news out of Washington, where, as you've seen, the vote on the GOP health care plan has now been called off. More on that from D.C. coming up in just a couple of minutes.
Yeah, but first, we want to start Local 4 News at 5 with a story developing right now. A 64-year-old woman dead in Northwest Detroit.
And her stepson is in police custody at this hour. Coco McAvoy live at the home on Bramall Street. Coco?
Devin and Kimberly, police and crime scene investigators are still out here on scene along with a number of family members. This after 64-year-old Louise Jackson was found dead from blunt force trauma, and family members say they just cannot believe any of this happened.
Like I said, I'm trying to be strong, but it's hard, you know.
Gwen Jackson Hutchison and other family members rushed to the scene on Bramall Street in disbelief. This after finding out their loved one, Louise Jackson, was killed, allegedly by her 36-year-old stepson.
I got a phone call about, I think it was about 1:15. One of my sisters in Georgia called me, and she said, "Gwen, Rick killed Louise." I said, "What?"
Police say family came to check on Jackson, and when she didn't come to the door, they smashed the windows and found her dead. Hutchison says her sister was a loving person.
She was a very outgoing person, straightforward. She didn't bite her tongue, and she was a very spiritual person
who cared for everyone.
Oh, she always was looking out for everybody, you know, and you know she just was a people person. So I'm gonna miss that.
Police will continue their investigation while family members struggle to wrap their heads around what happened here today.
I mean, it's hurting. It's kind of hard to even express, but I'm really upset right now. But, you know, something we didn't have no control of.
And we also learned that Jackson was a parapro for special needs children for Detroit Public Schools. Reporting live this afternoon, I'm Coco McAvoy, Local 4. Back to you.
Well, Coco, were there any, what I guess you'd refer to as red flags in this?
So police say they came out to this house once last year, but other than that, they didn't have any other calls. But family members tell me that they do believe that the stepson was mentally ill, but they also added that Jackson just loved that stepson. It was really like her own son, so it's just heartbreaking for them to hear about what happened here today.
Must be, no doubt. All right, Coco. Kim?
An absolutely wild scene playing out today along the Detroit-East Point border. A run-in between two guys ends with shots fired. It happened right at the bus stop at Gratiot and 8 Mile. Let's get to Sean Lay live. And Sean, is the gunshot victim okay in this?
That's the big thing we want to point out. Yes, he was shot in the shoulder. Police are calling it a non-life-threatening injury. That's the good news. But when you see the video, it is rather disturbing. Two guys right here have a very quick exchange. One then pulls out a gun, and he is quick to use this type of violence. Take a look. Only Local 4 can show you this shocking security camera video. This man is selling flowers today at the busy bus stop on Gratiot at 8 Mile. Words are exchanged with another man. That man pulls out a gun and fires at point-blank range right at that flowers salesman. Watch again. It happens in a blink of an eye. The gun is pulled, those shots are fired. It's incredible that the victim somehow survived. He ran here with a bullet in his shoulder to this liquor store across 8 Mile in Detroit. Back at the bus stop, that shooter, still armed, stands around, talks to people. Minutes go by, 9 to be exact. An East Point officer comes and takes that gunman into custody. This man says he had to run when those shots were fired.
As soon as he pulled out his gun, I got out the way because I knew he was finna start shooting. It's like I had the feeling he was finna start shooting. And as soon as the guy had ran, that's when he started shooting and everything.
This happened right at noon today. You can see how quickly things can turn violent, how quick people resort to shooting someone. Back here live again, that man runs across 8 Mile Road, does not get hit by a car. He's being treated right now for that non-life-threatening injury. The gunman tried to say that this was a case, Kimberly, of self-defense. Police aren't buying it right now. They've just arrested him. They will be seeking charges against him. Back to you.
And Sean, you're hearing that these two men actually knew each other.
Yeah, same type of exchange here at the same bus stop just about 2 days ago. Same thing happens today, only this time this gentleman brings a gun with him.
And it happened fast. Okay, Sean, thanks.
A beautiful spring day out today. We had temperatures in the mid-70s.
Unbelievable. Really nice, but there could be some trouble on tap for the weekend. Ben, how we doing?
That's usually the way it works, isn't it? Yeah, Kim and Devin, we are going to see these temperatures come down, but it is still gorgeous out there. 76 right now at Metro. Remember, less than 36 hours ago, we had temperatures in the teens, and that is a swing of 50 to 60 degrees in some spots. Even some of our coldest spots are still in the upper 60s, and that's in our north zone. Sandusky at 68. We'll appear here at 69 degrees. We will stay in the 70s at least through the evening. In fact, we've got some clouds out there, especially in the northern half of our area, but there's a little bit of clearing now that's trying to work its way in. So looks like we're going to hold on to the 70s at least in parts of the area right through the evening. But once we get to sunset, that's when we're going to start watching showers that are going to build through the area. So by 6 p.m. we'll still be dry, a little bit breezy out there too, and temperatures remaining in the 70s. We'll go to 67 here at 8 as showers start developing. And this is really the start of what's going to be a fairly soggy weekend ahead. We'll look at your Saturday and Sunday forecast and see if we can pinpoint some dry spots coming up in a few minutes. Guys.
Okay, Ben. A man accused of stealing a car at a gas station with a 3-year-old and 9-month-old inside faced a judge today for the first time.
In charge of carjacking, maximum penalty could be up to life in prison, and unlawfully driving away a motor vehicle.
29-year-old DeAndre McNeil was arrested Wednesday in Flint, hours after police said he stole a woman's car at a gas station in Burton with her 2 small children inside. The incident set off an Amber Alert. Police found both children alone in that stolen car in Flint several hours later. The children were not harmed.
Hepatitis A continues to be a growing problem in southeast Michigan. The Michigan Department of Health and Human Services says it is continuing to see an elevated number of hepatitis A cases across Macomb, Oakland, and Wayne counties. Over the past 8 months, there have been 107 confirmed cases of hepatitis A just in that 3-county area, 8 times more than during the same span from last year. The department says residents need to keep getting tested and make sure that they are up on their vaccinations. And we continue to follow the breaking news today from Washington. The vote on a new health care bill has been called off. And just a short time ago, President Trump said they came extremely close, but in the end came up short.
Yeah, here's the very latest on what's happened thus far. Late this afternoon, White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer announced the vote would happen at 3:30. Then just before that time, word came out that the vote was canceled.
Then right after that, the GOP leadership pulled the bill altogether. Blaine Alexander following these very quick breaking developments from Washington. Blaine?
A Republican plan to end Obamacare undone today by Republicans.
We came really close today, but we came up short. I spoke to the president just a little while ago, and I told him that the best thing I think to do is to pull this bill, and he agreed with that decision.
Today, as time ran out, Republicans spent the day scrambling, knowing they were facing an uphill battle for votes.
Today is a great day for our country. It's a victory. What happened on the floor is a victory for the American people.
Ryan headed to the White House Friday to update the president. The vice president canceled a planned trip as some Republicans remained resistant despite 2 days of negotiations and compromise.
Be like pushing a camel through a keyhole. He looks a little worse for the wear.
The White House not casting blame for the bill's turbulent road, but certainly not accepting it, saying the timeline was not rushed.
Has the team put everything out there? Have we left everything on the field? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, this isn't a dictatorship.
Please vote no.
The gentlelady's time is expired.
And soul.
On the House floor, frustration spilled over.
Speaker, I oppose this bill with every breath and every bone in my body. We must not give up.
We have a marvelous opportunity, but we could lose it. I ask you all, and I urge you all, to please vote for this act.
That opportunity gone, at least for now. Speaker Paul Ryan saying Obamacare will be around for the foreseeable future. And a close vote on health care is certainly nothing new. Back in 2010, the Affordable Care Act, or what came to be known as Obamacare, passed the House with only 3 votes to spare. Blaine Alexander, NBC News, Washington.
All right, Blaine, NBC Nightly News is going to have live coverage from Washington here at 6:30 as the reaction continues to pour in on the decision to pull the bill. So keep it right here on Local 4.
Well, progress tonight at the sinkhole site in Fraser.
Crews bring one of the damaged homes down to the ground. We've got a view that we haven't seen before coming up here at 5. Also, police make a huge mistake hunting for a violent criminal. New tonight what they forgot to check just before they busted down the door.
He's accused of shooting 2 police officers, the prime suspect in the murder of another. But is he competent to stand trial?
Tonight. New at 6.
For the second time in 3 weeks, a threat is made to a local school. At 6 o'clock, who police have in custody. Hank?
A check for more than $3,000. Who wouldn't want to cash that? If you do, though, you could be out big money.
All right, Hank. Well, for the first time since he was charged, Raymond Durham was in a Detroit courtroom today.
You may remember him. His arraignment happened in the hospital. He's the man who police say shot 2 Detroit police officers back on March 15th and, according to police, is connected to the murder of Sergeant Colin Rose. Defender Kevin Dietz was in court today, and Kevin, I guess you'd say he acted in a rather odd manner.
Yeah, Raymond Durham was calm in court today, but he was definitely confused. He had a real hard time understanding the judge's instructions during the short hearing this morning. His own attorney says she thinks he may be delusional.
I love you, Raymond. Love you, Raymond.
Shouts of support from family of the man accused of shooting 2 Detroit police officers. Following that shooting, Police Chief James Craig called Raymond Durham a violent man who reloaded his gun and hid in tall weeds hoping to shoot more cops. Durham's family says he suffers from mental illness and is not violent. Today, Durham seemed confused when he was asked to sign his name on court documents.
Can you sign your name? I mean, my job's not in there, you know. Your job? No. Yes. We just want your name. Can you write your name? Okay, this is what. That's
no,
so we can.
You sign here. Under
there.
No. On top of there, right there.
Oh, top here.
Yeah, right there. Can you sign that? Thank you.
Judge Kenneth King ordered Durham to undergo a mental competency and criminal responsibility exam. Durham's attorney, Gabby Silver, explained why she requested that he check in at the Forensic Center in Ypsilanti.
He can't communicate with me. You know, you need to be able to have a conversation with your client about the discovery material, about what happened. And, you know, I have a client at this point that is unable to do that.
Durham is also a prime suspect in the murder of Wayne State University police officer Colin Rose. His DNA was found at the crime scene, but he has not yet been charged. The names of the 2 Detroit police officers shot have not been released. The outcome of Durham's forensic exam will help determine if he's competent to stand trial in the shooting of the 2 Detroit police officers.
I love you, Raymond. Love you, Raymond.
So Durham will be evaluated over the next 90 days, and then he'll be back in court on June 16th with an update on his ability to stand trial. Kevin Dietz, Defenders.
Well, Kevin, back to the Colin Rose murder, though. Do we expect a decision coming on that soon?
They are progressing on that investigation, but they're not in any hurry. Durham isn't going anywhere, and he is their prime suspect. They want to make sure they get it right, so they're going to take their time.
All right, Kevin.
Temperatures in the 70s, Ben was saying.
Gorgeous day, and for a Friday, too. Makes it even nicer.
For a Friday, we finally got the look and the feel to coincide. Right. We got it all working together. It took 24 days to get a day that was warmer than what we saw in February.
Wow,
how about that?
This is the first time this month that we have been warmer than 70. It's amazing. But some of these numbers out there, even though they feel good right now, are going back to at least closer to average when we get into the upcoming weekend. And of course, we're keeping a close eye on the rain. Right now, that band of showers is right here in the northern part of the state. And you can see over the last couple hours that it has made some progress to the south, but we're really going to be seeing some areas develop a little bit closer to the actual front, which is sort of draped across the southern end of the state right now. And you can see just a circle of rain right around Detroit, but we've got some clear skies over top of us right now. So that's what's helping those temperatures get up there. By the way, our record today is 81. So we're within 5 degrees. I don't think we're going to quite get there, but man, it was definitely close. We'll keep things on the warm side of things tonight. And as that cold front moves to the south, you can see just in the next couple hours, probably 8, 9 o'clock, we'll start seeing those showers fire along that front, which is going to be right over the top of Metro Detroit. And then tomorrow, even though we've got rain in the forecast, that warm front goes back south. That keeps temperatures cool. We'll wake up in the 40s and pretty much stay there all day. And then on Sunday, that'll bubble back and allow us to get into the 60s. But as far as the rain timing goes, it looks like more on than off. Even though we will see some dry areas over both Saturday and Sunday, it is definitely going to be soggy for that 2-day stretch. That low finally pulling away as we get into Sunday night. And we'll go into Monday, a little bit better conditions. Looking outside right now, 76, that temperature at Metro, 18-mile-an-hour winds. It definitely has been breezy, but I don't think anybody cares as long as that's what's showing up on the thermometer. We'll continue to watch these temperatures at least stay in the 70s probably until the sun goes down tonight. Chicago got to 80 degrees. In fact, that's where they sit right now. But look at this difference. Chicago there at 80. Get north of the front. Green Bay is at 37. Quite a temperature difference there across that front. And we'll continue, of course, to watch that front sink south and bring us those shower chances tonight. So the rain increases. Some of us are going to get wet here around sunset. And then we'll see more of those showers develop as the night wears on towards tomorrow. Here's the 4-zone forecast. We're going to highlight tomorrow afternoon temperatures. We're not calling them highs because the numbers are actually going to be decreasing a little bit through the day. 41 in the city. Downriver, you're going to be probably about 43 or so as we get towards the 3 o'clock hour tomorrow. South zone temperatures, everybody here in the low 40s. Remember that front will be pretty much down towards the Ohio state line, allowing us to cool down to these numbers. Low 40s primarily in our west zone tomorrow afternoon. And north of M59, couple 30s showing up here. North Branch, Martlet, Sandusky, that's where you'll be. And everybody else here in the low 40s for afternoon temperatures. We get back to 60 with those showers around, and could be a couple rumbles of thunder in there on Sunday as well. Monday looks to be our next warmest temperature of the forecast after today's whopper. 62 is what we're expecting early next week, but things do calm down, at least on the temperature front. We'll stay in the 50s after Monday. Morning lows a little bit more respectable for this time of year. But yeah, we got definitely some wet stuff to get through this weekend, so maybe a stay inside.
April showers early.
That's right, so. Just a little bit ahead of schedule. Yeah.
All right, Ben. Well, a simple trip to visit family in Michigan ends up being a total nightmare for an elderly couple. New tonight, how they ended up hundreds of miles away in upstate New York and not Grand Rapids.
But first, the face of terror. Brand new details emerging tonight into the man behind the attack in London. Next. In England, police have released a photo of a man identified as the London attacker.
This is British-born Khalid Masood. Police say he's responsible for killing 4 people and injuring dozens more during an attack on Wednesday outside Parliament. Today, more than 30 victims are still in the hospital as those who survived continue to replay the attack in their heads.
Car comes out of nowhere and it just hits 4 to 5 innocent bystanders on the street.
Investigators say Masood converted to Islam. Police are now trying to find out what led him to be radicalized. They've raided his home and are now searching through thousands of electronics for any clues that may lead to more answers. A family in Chicago says they no longer feel safe after police officers accidentally raided their home.
Chicago police were searching for a suspect Thursday morning when they kicked down the door of Ashanti Franklin's apartment. The one problem was Franklin's apartment wasn't the one they were supposed to be searching. The officers eventually realized their mistake, but not before pointing guns at Franklin's entire family.
They came in, they pointed the guns on me, my husband, my daughter. My 12-year-old son was in the bed asleep in the back room. They went into his room where he was with the guns over him.
Chicago police say they're working with the family to replace their door while the suspect they were actually seeking was arrested on the ground floor of the building. Back here at home in Macomb Township, the search is on for a thief with an apparent love for the energy drink Red Bull.
Police say the man you see or about to see here went into the Kroger on 21 Mile and loaded up a shopping cart with Red Bull. He then left without paying. He and an accomplice were seen loading the items into a black older model 2-door Chevy Trailblazer. So anyone with information on this man's whereabouts is asked to call Macomb County Sheriff's Office.
Well, we've lost a member of the Detroit broadcasting family. Longtime Detroit TV anchor and reporter Rich Fisher has died. Fisher worked as an anchor and reporter at WXYZ at Channel 7 for 12 years, then moved to Channel 2 in 1990. But this morning his family announced he had passed away after a lengthy battle with cancer. Fisher is survived by his ex-wife, 2 sons, and 2 daughters. One of the nicest guys you'd meet. He was 67 years old.
New at 5:30.
Who could do something like this? This helpless dog, the victim of a horrible act.
It's been a very busy week in local doctors' offices, with one illness in particular spreading fast. I'm Dr. Frank McGeorge. I'll show you what's going around and the symptoms you need to watch out for.
He was that hero firefighter you read about.
He wanted to give money to her children for Toys for Tots, for Christmas presents.
And it was sentencing day for the woman he was trying to help, and his kids spoke out.
It's live from downtown Detroit. Local 4 News at 5:30 starts now.
She won't be getting out for a very long time. A judge throws the book at a woman for her role in the murder of a Detroit firefighter. The third and final person charged in the murder of Detroit firefighter Dave Madrigal was sentenced today.
33-year-old Nicole O'Neill pleaded guilty to second-degree murder, and before the judge delivered his sentence, Madrigal's 2 children had an opportunity to share their pain. We bring in Rod Maloney. Very emotional day, Rod.
Devin, this must be emotionally exhausting for Dave Madrigal's kids, because this is the 3rd time now that they've had to go in and talk to a judge about their anger over their father's murder. They called him Super Dave Madrigal, a firefighter's firefighter, if there ever was one, had a hydrant in his front garden. So beloved, they held a tearful candlelight vigil for him after his children found him murdered in his Vaughn Street, Detroit home back in December 2015. His son David Jr. today told the court what everyone around him knew.
His heart was solid gold.
Today was sentencing day for 33-year-old Nicole O'Neill. She pled guilty to second-degree murder in the case.
He wanted to give money to her children for Toys for Tots, for Christmas presents.
Super Dave's daughter Christina welled up with anger as she spoke.
Instead, she brought her 6-year-old son to the house and 2 men to deceive, rob, and ultimately kill my father.
O'Neill is the 3rd of 3 people going to prison for the killing. Tim Soto, in the black hair and beard, is doing 40 years for murder after hitting Madrigal in the head with a workout weight. And Christian Raznick is also in prison in the case for helping steal Madrigal's safe SUV and gun.
I have no sympathy for you, but I do for your children. You're selfish, you're sick, you're disgusting. I hope you feel the pain I feel every day when I wake up. And I remember, this isn't a nightmare. This is my life.
Very emotional there. Now, the judge did ask O'Neill if she had anything to say. She said, she shook her head, no, that she had nothing to say. She was given 20 to 50 years behind bars. Back to you.
You know, Rod, trying to frame what exactly O'Neill's role was in this case was a fascinating part of this.
Yeah, it was, Devin, and it's a situation where apparently they had befriended, the 3 of these people had befriended Madrigal, and they allegedly, or they claimed to have gone to his house to rob him. And in fact, they did. They stole his safe, had $1,500 in it, took his car, took his gun. And so they're saying that she was there essentially trying to ask him to, befriend them all, spend some time with them. And she apparently even said that she would flirt with him to get his attention.
Yeah, kind of the lure of the whole trap. All right, Rod.
Well, after sitting there for months, they were gone in minutes. 2 of the homes at the site of the Fraser sinkhole come down to the ground. And that is just one of the 3 homes that will come down in the next few days.
Yeah, all day long it's been one of our most clicked on stories on clickondetroit.com. And let's take a look at this live picture. We've become pretty familiar with this camera position, but it looks very different now. Coco McAvoy was there today as demolition got underway.
The homeowners lived in this house for 18 years, so you can only imagine how difficult it was for them to watch this house demolished today. But they say they hope this is a start to closure. Just like that, the house that's been slowly falling into the sinkhole was brought down. Only debris, a shed, and a childhood playset remain in the yard as family members watch their belongings get picked up by the excavator.
This is a huge step in progress today. Once this comes down, I think it begins the healing portion for the residents in the city of Fraser.
The The county came to a settlement of a little over $300,000 with the family because insurance wasn't covering it.
We are going to approach this in a very compassionate way, understanding that these poor folks have been sort of victimized, not by a natural disaster, but by a man-made disaster.
There's a long road ahead filled with construction on top of more construction.
We've been building this long-term bypass. That's the parallel pipes you see on 15 Mile Road. And at some point here, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, we are going to be able to actually stop the flow of sewage.
The county is now waiting for an inspection report to see if even more work needs to be done on this line, so no one will have to experience something like this again.
We feel terrible that this has happened to them, and the only way that we can make it right, obviously, is financially.
And out here live now, speaking of finances, the county says they've been reimbursing the family for things like hotel stays. And a lot of people asking me on social media whether or not the family was able to get anything out of the home before it was demolished. The family telling me that they were able to grab a couple of things like photographs, but for the most part, everything was still in that house as it was torn down today. Reporting live this afternoon, I'm Coco McAvoy, Local 4.
Would have been just too hard, I think, for most people to even watch that if that was their home. But Coco, we had 2 houses come down today, but there were 3 that were actually condemned by the county.
Yes, so the county says they're still really in negotiation with that third family. They're hoping to come to a settlement, but they say they're also looking at the layout because they believe that it's a possibility that that house will not have to come down, even though it is on the condemned list.
No, it's interesting. All right, Coco. Well, the Detroit man accused of opening fire on bailiffs has now been formally charged.
68-year-old Lawrence Turville was arraigned via video today. He's charged with a combined 20 counts of felonious assault, resisting and obstructing, and felony firearm. On Tuesday, police said a court bailiff came to Turville's home on Whitlock Street to tow away his van. And that's when Turville barricaded himself in his van briefly before police said he fired shots at a Detroit police officer.
All right, we bring Ben back in. You've still got a little time to get out and enjoy what's left of the best day that we've had in a long time.
So gorgeous. Yeah. I was getting pictures of my kids and they're riding the bike and doing the chalk.
The outside stuff.
And I'm like, oh, it looks
Low
so good.
70s out there, which is something we will not be seeing this weekend. We will have some dry spots, and we'll talk about that. So if you've got a honey-do list that you just have to get done outdoors, we'll show you a couple hours here. We think they'll probably be best for that. Tonight, we'll start seeing those showers develop as we get towards about 8 o'clock tonight. That cold front not very active out there right now, but that's where we think these showers are going to start firing along once we get to sunset tonight. And then that area does start to expand through the nighttime hours, staying with us through about daybreak tomorrow. And really the biggest push of moisture on Saturday is going to be right here around midday. Once we get past noon, 1 o'clock, notice things start to dry out at least temporarily, and that'll take us all the way to Sunday morning. Showers come back, though, even really before the noon hour, even though they'll be widely scattered, and then start to increase as we head towards the afternoon. So here's the breakdown of the weekend. The wettest portion probably going to be that afternoon hour on Sunday. If you have to get out on this weekend, Saturday afternoon looks to be the driest spot. Temperatures a little bit different than today, only in the 40s through the whole day on Saturday. We will peak up to 60 on Sunday, but keep in mind that's coming with quite a bit of rain. We'll look at your 7-day forecast in just minutes. Devin?
Calls for an independent panel to take over the investigation into Russian hacking, collusion, and wiretapping allegations continue to grow tonight. Now, one of the men at the center of all of this is volunteering to talk with members of both the House and Senate Intelligence Committees, currently looking into the matter. Jay Gray has the latest from Washington. Jay?
Please keep in mind that those in a controversial move, the House Intelligence Committee investigating Russian election hacking is closing its doors.
We are asking Mr. Comey and Mr. Rogers to come back in, and until we can get them in a closed session, it's not going to be worth it to have the open session.
Chairman Devin Nunes canceling a scheduled public hearing next week in favor of a private session, a decision that does not sit well with Democrats on the panel.
I think this is a serious mistake.
This comes just days after what Democratic co-chair Adam Schiff calls a midnight run by Nunes, who shared information on new evidence with the press and President Trump, but not committee members. Details, Nunes said, that showed the president and his transition team were part of what's described as incidental surveillance and dissemination by numerous intelligence agencies. Today, though, he appeared to back off of that claim.
We won't know that until we actually receive all of the documentation.
Even with the revelations and testimony this week, both sides continue to agree there's no evidence supporting President Trump's Twitter allegations that he was wiretapped by the Obama administration.
Not a full validation or vindication of the president, not a partial validation of the president, a zero validation of the president.
Lawmakers now could learn more from one of the central figures in the investigation. Today, former Trump campaign chair Paul Manafort volunteered to be interviewed by both the House and Senate Intel committees as the investigation and partisan bickering continues. Jay Gray, Local 4.
All right, Jay, reports say Manafort has agreed to an informal, closed-door meeting with the Intel Committee. He would not take an oath, which is part of formal testimony. Still, federal law requires, though, any witnesses to tell the truth during a discussion with a congressional panel.
Transportation in New York City was crippled this morning when an Amtrak train derailed and then sideswiped an incoming train.
I will be directing you the safest way to evacuate the train. Please wait for further instructions.
All 248 passengers made it off the train safely. Some say the derailment happened within seconds of the departure. That was a train headed for Washington. No word yet on what caused the derailment.
Across Michigan this Friday, stories from Allegan County on the west side of the state and Leelanau County up north. But
we'll start this roundup in Lakefield Township, which is up near Bay City. That's where a man was arrested for stabbing a dog. Police say a 25-year-old man was arrested after he stabbed this dog a number of times on Wednesday. The dog reportedly suffered a seizure because of the stabbing, but fortunately is expected to survive this. But right now it is unclear why the man did it. Police are investigating.
Meantime, in Allegan County, a woman was killed after she was hit by a car while she was trying to save her dog. Police say 45-year-old Jennifer Counterman was trying to get her dog out of the road Wednesday night when she was hit by a car. Police have identified the man who hit Counterman as a 19-year-old man. He says he was trying to avoid another car and didn't see her or the dog in the road. In Leelanau County this afternoon, residents are urged to take down their bird feeders because, well, they're attracting bears.
Yeah, Michigan Department of Natural Resources says bears are attracted to bird seed because it has a higher fat content than what they usually eat. On top of that, bears eating so close to homes makes them more comfortable around humans. That increases the likelihood, of course, of some kind of an attack or an intersection of humans and bears. So if you want to avoid bears, you're being advised to take down the bird feeders up in the Pinky area of Michigan. Wow. An elderly Florida couple enduring a horrible trip to visit family from Michigan.
New tonight, the one mistake that caused them to end up hundreds of miles away in upstate New York.
And it's only a picture of someone eating. New tonight, the bizarre reason why this image has landed that man in handcuffs. Doc?
It's been a very busy week in local doctors' offices with one illness in particular spreading fast. I'm Dr. Frank McGeorge. Coming up, I'll show you what's going around and the symptoms you need to watch out for.
This lady loves.
New at 6.
From reading The Great Gatsby to the Heimlich maneuver, what happened at a Livonia school that's now being called a teachable moment?
Smart bus drivers, they're working a lot of overtime. They say they need help.
There are more buses, but we need drivers.
We'll explain why Smart is having trouble getting drivers behind the wheel.
All right, thank you, Sean. Also, good health tonight. A very busy week in local doctors' offices with one illness in particular spreading pretty fast.
Dr. Frank McGeorge here with a look at what's going around and what is getting worse. Doc?
That illness is strep throat. Now, several doctors are reporting an increase in patients suffering from strep throat. And while the flu is still a big problem, we're also seeing the first hint of spring illnesses, too. Here's what's going around where you live. In Wayne County, Children's Hospital says RSV and asthma flare-ups top the list, but strep throat is on the rise. Garden City Hospital is treating flu and stomach viruses, and pediatricians at Henry Ford and Dearborn are seeing kids with colds and also strep throat. Over to Oakland County, Dr. Kelly Levasseur at Beaumont Children's is treating influenza, strep throat, and stomach viruses. Providence Hospital in Southfield says the warmer weather is making allergies flare and asthma, too. The CVS Miniclinic in Walled Lake reports a case of fifth disease. That's a viral illness that causes a lacy rash that gives the appearance of a slapped cheek. Bronchitis and pink eye are also popping up. West Washtenaw County doctors at U of M report lots of sick kids this week with respiratory illnesses causing a bad cough and a number of stomach viruses too. The health department says flu-related hospitalizations remain at high levels, especially in seniors. Influenza A continues, but they're seeing influenza B more frequently too. Heading to Monroe County, ER doctors at ProMedica Monroe Regional are also seeing A and B strains of the flu and also strep throat in children this week. Finally, in Macomb County, Dr. Patrick Flaherty at McLaren Macomb reports he too is seeing a rise in cases of influenza B and high levels of stomach virus. The change in temperature is bringing more asthma and croup in young kids. Beaumont Dr. Parag Patel is seeing sinus infections, and all of the Henry Ford Macomb health centers are treating strep throat. A strep throat causes a fever, sore throat, and often pain with swallowing. A cough is not common with strep throat. Now, in fact, not every sore throat or even strep throat needs antibiotics, but you should see a doctor if there's significant difficulty swallowing, any trouble breathing, swelling or lumps in the neck, or if you just aren't getting better after a few days. Back to you.
All right, Doc. Well, a man in Lakeland, Florida, a town Tigers fans know well, is facing charges for, of all things, eating pancakes.
He's a tough criminal, right?
Yeah.
Take a look. This is Kieran Thomas. On Tuesday, he set up a table and chair in the middle of the road and, yes, started eating pancakes as a prank. A video of the prank was posted on Facebook, and that's where the cops saw it, and they set out to arrest him. Police say Thomas will be charged with placing an obstruction in the roadway and disrupting traffic.
You'll never eat pancakes in this town again, buddy.